We are setting ourselves up for failure, emotional failure, when we put these roadblocks of expectations in our way. And setting expectations can destroy our emotional stability. And we do it to ourselves all the time. All the time. None of us are exempt from this. We do it. And we're going to talk about intent versus expectations as we roll through this. And you expect to live like the rest of the day. All of us have this expectation that we're not going to die today. We're all going to go home. We're all going to go to sleep. We're all going to wake up tomorrow and have a wonderful day. But what if you don't? I mean, there was a little girl that died a few days ago, and the father was driving in Shreveport, and this happens all the time. Every time you drive down the road, you see these little crosses everywhere. Those people were thinking they were going to work. Those people think that they were going to see their loved one. They were going to home, whatever they were doing. People drop dead of heart attacks. I mean, just everything. Our life is super, super precious, and we take it for granted that we're just going to live forever, especially when you're young. I mean, me and Matt, we thought we could ramp our motorcycles and do daredevil crap all day long and that we would never die. You know, we're riding down the street and I got a big stick stuck all the way through my leg. You know, I mean, it should have been through my heart. I mean, it was crazy. We just do stupid stuff. And we really need to take into consideration that we shouldn't expect those things. We don't know when our time is up. We just don't. We don't know a bunch of anything. I really like these two guys. If y'all don't know them, I would encourage y'all to know them. And they really talk a lot. Well, one of Ram Dass is dead, but he was really talking about being in the moment. And it's tough to be in the moment when we have all these worries. You know, you got all these concerns. Oh, how am I going to pay this bill? How am I going to, I got a friend mad at me. And then, you know, we take ourselves out of the moment and think about only our worries, only the worries. When we can be in this moment right now, if we all got stressed, which we all do, we can all look at each other and go, oh man, well, it's nice to see Matt, it's Billy, Matt's friend, and everybody that's here. Like, it's really nice. It's really nice to have people we can count on, because this group has continually been communicating outside of here to build really strong and powerful relationships. And it's really important that we do that and don't expect anything wonderful to happen in all of those worries and all of that stress, because we have to be right here and right now. You know, we expect our friends to be loyal. I mean, come on now. I mean, we're trying to build a community, and we understand how tough it is, because, you know, who was it? Emerson or Ralph Waldo Emerson or Thoreau, one of them said, you know, you have to endure the betrayal of your false friends. That's one of the measures of success. Man, I mean, I think we can all count on our hands and toes, and all of y'all's hands and toes of all our friends that have betrayed us, or that we thought betrayed us. I mean, we know this kind of crap happens all the time. I mean, it just does. But you expect them to be loyal, and I think we should. We don't want to plant seeds of, oh, God, everybody's out to get me. But we should also understand that things happen. Things just happen, and we should be emotionally aware of it so that we're not just emotionally destroying ourselves. We expect to be financially okay a lot of times. You know, like if you had a good job or you got a lot of good clients, everything's rolling in, and then all of a sudden it all stops. It just stops. All of a sudden you lost your clients, you lost your job, you get fired, and you're injured. All of a sudden you can't work, you broke your legs. Wow. Talk about you had this expectation that you're going to continue to do well, but you didn't plan or do anything for those rainy days. And then what happens? All of a sudden you're an emotional basket case. Your partner leaves you, your lifestyles change. You know, who wants to be with a broke dude? You know, I mean, you get all worked up about it. The expectations of a happy marriage. I mean, hell, every one of us know people in here that have been divorced, and most of us have been divorced already. You're not sitting up there getting married with your wife in front of you thinking, oh, well, this is going to last 2 years, you know? You have an expectation that you're going to be happy together forever. But things change. People go their different paths. We have these expectations. But what are we doing to enhance that? Are we communicating properly? Or are we upset? Do we come home all pissed off because something happened and we take it out on our loved one? Of course they're going to leave us. Of course our expectation of them being understanding is going to go away. It's done. I fall to this a lot. A lot of times I'm talking to somebody and I have the feeling that they think just like me. It's a stupid idea because nobody thinks like me and nobody thinks like any of y'all. We're all different. We all have different experiences. We can look at our own brothers and sisters and see, well, we were raised the same. I mean, unless you got half brothers or something. I mean, if you lived and grew up in the same brother and sister, y'all are all crazy different. And you're thinking, how can that be? They should be thinking just like me. We should have the exact same emotions, exact same feelings. Nobody does. So we shouldn't expect that everybody thinks like us. We should practice what we talked about last weekend as the art of communication so that we can know who we love, who we care about. It's probably a pretty good idea. I mean, I think I've done this to Jill before. You know, she comes home and she thinks, you know, she probably, I'm just speaking because I think I know what she thinks, which is probably a wrong idea. But where's my husband? You know, where is he? You know, I'm upstairs working. And I'm thinking, oh, hurry up and finish this before she gets home. And she had this expectation of what we do every time she walks in the door practically, is I'm there to give her a hug when she comes home from being a nurse, saving everybody's life. And then when I don't do that, I can tell she's pissed off a little bit. I mean, she doesn't vocalize it or say it. Her eyes get a little sad. She looks a little distant. I call it, she walks into the mental, emotional pasture over there to take a little stroll, and I'm still over here in this one. I'm like, hey, I'm over here. It's what we expect is not always what we get. So we have to have some understanding with who we're dealing with. Like everybody, even our friends, every time we talk to each other. Like, I don't know this guy. I may have said something already that's, you know, pissed him off, but I had an expectation that, you know, he was going to like us here. You know, I don't know. You know, we get our feelings hurt when we try to share our thoughts. This is a big one because a lot of people are scared of talking to somebody else about something. Like there's a big fear, and especially a fear with the people you're closest to. Like, oh God, I don't want to really tell my husband this or my wife that or my worker this. You know, maybe they'll think I'm weak, maybe they'll think I'm vulnerable, and they're going to think I'm a wuss. Like, especially with men, that's a real big problem. And of course, we like to explode. Ricky, you know, we like to cuss and yell. I mean, you know, we had a water leak out here earlier today, right before we started. Instead of Ricky, this is one of the great things about Ricky is that he walks up, this damn water, blah, 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 just blah, blah. And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh God, here he goes. And then he instantly calms down. He just goes, okay, we'll figure this out. Like he caught himself. Now, 2 years ago, Ricky would not have caught himself. He'd still be out there cussing and kicking at the spigot. Because that's the cause of all of life's problems, whatever emergency happens in that moment. But I didn't expect that this morning. I didn't expect my hands to be dirty and I couldn't wash them. See, I like that at home. Anybody that doesn't like dirt? It's wonderful how this thing works. We have all known people that say, hey, I think I'm getting this raise. I'm getting a promotion. I'm expecting it. But the other guy gets it, or the other girl gets it. They don't even give you the raise. You think you're getting this client. Nah. Doesn't show up. Or you have your car washed, Tony, and you think, oh man, this is going to be a great day. People are going to just be running in. You can't wait to get up there. And then all of a sudden it rains all day. And there was no expectation of rain, you know, because the weathermen get it wrong a lot. So then we become emotionally disturbed. We're like, crap, the world's against me. Everybody's against me. Well, really, nobody's against you. You're just against yourself by setting up just crazy expectations. You know, how about hanging out with our friends? I mean, we've all been with friends and then they want to do some crazy crap that you don't want to do, especially whenever we're younger. You know, you got, there's nothing worse than going, especially as an adult, you're going to out to dinner with some friends or something and you're with the wrong group. You know, you probably shouldn't have went out with them in the first place. And all of a sudden they just want to, well, hey, let's do a shot of tequila. I'm like, no, I don't want to do a shot of tequila. I'd really like to have this nice meal, and I might like a glass of wine. But we set this expectation before we go, oh, this is going to be nice. I hadn't seen them in a while. This will be a good time. And then all of a sudden we let ourselves down. We just let ourselves down. How about all of us driving home today? We're all going to expect to get home just safe and sound with nothing. You don't know when you're going to have a flat and you don't have a jack. You don't know whenever you don't have a spare. You don't know if you're going to get stuck in traffic. You don't know if you're really excited about listening to this song on your Bluetooth and now your Bluetooth's not working. And you just get aggravated. You just create all this just crap in your head. Nothing else, really. I mean, everybody here has resources they can call on. Y'all friends. Y'all have everybody here. I mean, there are 2 or 3 people that would come, whoever's here today, we would come. We just would. So you don't have to really get mad. God, my whole day's ruined. I can't believe this. It's not, is it? I think this is funny as hell. We hear about this a lot. These crazy people want to swim with the sharks or go pet lions or, ride a wild horse. You might have the expectation that animal is going to feel your love, but I can promise you that animal is going to kill you. It's going to throw you off. It's going to sting you, and a camel will spit in your face. I know that firsthand because I rode camels in the Middle East, and you have to put this big thing over their face because all they want to do is spit on you. It's true. We have this expectation, I have so much love in my heart. Everybody's going to love me, even the animals. Nobody thinks like you. Just remember that. How about an expectation for a nice date? You're single, you just broke up with your girlfriend, you got somebody else wants you, like Steve, oh man, this girl's great. I think we're going to go on a date. You get there and, she starts burping or stinks or she's dressed like a hoe, all these, and she just won't shut up. Everything she's talking about is herself and her problems. She doesn't even barely remember your name because she can't stop talking about herself. I mean, these things just happen. Don't they, Matt? Yeah, because we have these expectations. Then we're let down. Then we get home from the date and we're like, all women are crazy. I don't ever want to go on a date again. And because we allow that expectation to just beat us up. And I think that's kind of wild. How about politicians? We all expect a politician to, save the universe. No matter what party you were in. No, this guy's going to be the savior. Really? And then everybody's all heartbroken and butthurt if their guy doesn't win, or if they do win and then they don't do what they say they're going to do. Everybody's just butthurt. You're just butthurt about something you have no control over. But we do have control over how we treat each other and what communities we belong to, what groups that we're in, how we live our own life and help each other. All this other crap, we have no control over that, and most of it is all crap anyway. I mean, they may change a little thing here, a little thing there, a little thing there, but it's all crap. I mean, we live our life. It's our life. And we have to live and support each other. Just like we talked about, I think it was last week. We all have a lot of people here that do different things. Steve has his landscape business. Anybody needs something, call Steve. Tony with a car wash. Andrew with his catering and construction. I mean, everybody has these things that we do, and we can help each other. Those guys, not so much. We shouldn't expect that whenever we should intend on doing it ourselves. How about this one? This is a real big one. I mean, you're in the romantic mood and all of a sudden your girl's not or your husband's not. You have this expectation of having a very romantic, beautiful evening, and then nobody wants to touch you or love you or kiss you or nothing. That is a very bad expectation. It can cause a lot of relationship trauma. So why do it? Why set that expectation? What are you doing to create a romantic encounter? Are you coming in, being a douchebag? I mean, it's a really serious thing. We all think that, hey, I feel good today, so I'm not going to feel bad tomorrow. Well, hell, we had like 6 people or 7 that not here today because they're all sick. Well, they weren't expecting to be sick, but they are. Matt didn't come last week because he was sick. And that took me 3 weeks to get over whatever crud I had. But you think you're going to be okay. I don't think my Uncle Leslie, whose funeral I went to yesterday, thought he was going to be gone this early, even though he lived into his 80s, because he was super healthy right before he went downhill. But strength and beauty are fleeting, and we got to take care of our body. We talk about this a lot. That's why we're going to stretch a little bit today, just to listen to our body, because it's important. It's the only thing we have is this thing. Our mind, our emotions, our physicality, this is what we have, and this is what we get to share with the people that we love. So if we're not taking care of it, if we don't know how to protect it, then what are we doing? What are we doing? So we can set intentions instead of expectations. I intend to go home. If I don't, if something happens, okay, I have friends to call. I don't need to be upset. Hey, the water spigot's going to break. I don't intend for that to happen. I intend for this, but if something else does happen, it's okay. We know how to fix it. We'll get to it later. Everything's going to be okay if we just intend and work it out that way. I might lose a client today. Fine. I might lose anything. I'm not intending to lose it, but I understand that that's what happens in life, and I need to be emotionally ready to handle it. I don't need to let it get me upset. I don't need to let me drag down the rabbit hole of, oh, woe is me. Well, I do that whenever you have friends, you have resources. You know, Kyle was in a funk, and he came here and stayed a week or whatever he stayed. That's what we have. That's what we have each other for. That's what we have this place for. Everybody's welcome, and I intend to extend to all of y'all like I do often. Come out here, stay. Like if you need to get away. We got 2 cabins. As long as one's available, you're welcome to use it. Well, we got 3, but let's just set our intentions. Let's set our intentions that when we do go home, when we do arrive, we're like, oh, good, I'm glad I'm home. I can walk in and hug my spouse, significant other. If somebody pops into my head, I should not expect them to know that we're still friends. I should always have the intent of letting them know. I should always text them if they pop into my head. I should call them. Hey, you just popped into my head thinking about you, brother. I've been working on that a lot with everybody. And sometimes you forget people and you're like, oh, damn it, I forgot them. I don't want them to know I don't like them. I'm kidding, I like everybody. But it's really a serious thing that we should set our intentions, because our intentions are what guide our life. If our expectations of things is what's guiding us, we're always setting ourselves up for failure, and we don't need to do that. We don't need to be our own worst enemy. And with that, if all of y'all people at home, you 23,000 subscribers and everybody else that watches, if you have good vibes and you want good vibes, you're welcome to come here. If you're just an ass, you're not welcome. But if you want better friends, you want to enhance your life, we're really working on food security here, well, as soon as spring starts. All of these things, it's really a wonderful place, and I invite you to come, because most of y'all are local, so I don't know why you're not coming. I mean, that's a lot of people that watch, so just come. We'll see you next time.